things like that. That makes me
All
uncomfortable.
right, guys. This is the PPC questions and answers podcast where we answer your questions. And today we have a question from MG. MG has a very specific question about ads. Let's listen to the question. I've just listened to your podcast, part 5 of setting up an AdWords campaign. I'm particularly interested in the ad copy side. I understand and agree with you on trying to make the ad exciting to the customer, but also keeping within the confines of what Google likes. So here's their question. Along with this theme, I just wondered, what is your opinion on keyword insertion ads? Thanks in advance. Keep the podcast going. So, MG, what MG is referring to? Don't know that. Don't assume the gender, but what MG is referring to is the ability for ads to show the advertiser's keyword in the ad itself. So if a person types red running shoes and the advertiser's keyword is running shoes, in the ad, it will insert the word wherever they have this particular code in it, the word running shoes. So this is a quick way to take high volume campaigns and make them efficient and make them work for something that make them relevant to each individual keyword. Okay, I'm going to give my quick opinion, and then I'm going to hand it over to Jason. But MG, first, I have to say that I don't particularly like insertion ads, and the reason is because it's really redundant, and there's no reason to do it if you build campaigns with the basic Google AdWords rules in mind. That rule being every ad group has its own theme. So if I have a theme of running shoes, and then I have another one called jogging shoes, there should not really be a reason to cross those over and need to use keyword insertion to catch the word jogging shoes and running shoes and change the ad accordingly. I should just have different ad groups. I really feel like the shortcut is unnecessary when you abide by the golden standard of ad group building in AdWords. And I've heard it said that when you build in huge campaigns, you have hundreds of thousands of keywords and all that kind of stuff. I don't have experience with huge builds like that for large companies with thousands of products, but the fact is, that's probably not what 99% of the people watching this video are doing. Right. So most of you have no reason to use it for that purpose. And if you're building the campaign appropriately, there's really no reason for you to use it for that purpose. So in the end, I don't really think it's necessary. I don't advise it, and I don't use it myself. Jason, what do you think?
Wow. Well, I agree with you, Chris. Now, I'm not putting down the idea of it by itself. Maybe it works for other people fine, but for me, life is complicated enough. I don't need to be thinking about how adding different keywords to different ad groups as I go on and manage a campaign is going to affect the keyword insertion ads, or if the client's going to get angry if something shows up in the ad, or what would the backup insertion be? Because if the search is triggered by a non-keyword, Chris, you'll have a backup piece of copy in the code. I'm not that smart. Like I don't need to get into all that. And you make a great point. If your ad group is about running shoes and you want your ad to speak to that ad group, you're probably going to put running shoes in those ads anyway. And if you're not comfortable with someone doing a search for jogging shoes and the ad saying running shoes, then jogging shoes should be in their own ad group. And Chris, you said the smartest thing you've ever said on here was build campaigns how you like to manage them. And the idea of managing a campaign with insertion ads all over the place is just really scary to me. I don't like doing it. I can see the concept of it working, like, oh, the ad matches the person's search. But again, you should be doing that anyway, basically, with your ad group structure. So To me, it's a shortcut that makes things more complicated. So it's not really a shortcut. That's just the way my brain works. That's what works for me. I guess the only answer I can give to MG, Chris, is you can be wildly successful at Google AdWords and never use this. So don't feel like you have to if it's not something you like to do. So, Chris, that's it. I think people know how we feel about keyword insertion ads now. And if you want to know how we feel about anything else, go to paidsearchpodcast.com. Leave us your question at the contact page. Send us your questions on Facebook, YouTube channel, Twitter. And that's what we do here at the PPC Questions and Answers show here, Chris. We're here to answer people's questions. So we thank you guys for listening. We will see you next time with the next question on the PPC Questions and Answers show. Or as Chris closes the show out, we're the PPC Answers guy next time. Social media.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.